Anyway, I want to tell a story that's really got just an amazing manifestation ending to it, and at this time, this was in January of 2019, so nearly 2 years ago, and I'd been listening to Neville Goddard for about 6 weeks. I started listening to Neville and Joe Dispenza and a few other people back in the summer of 2018 when I was in Mako, Hungary. And so fast forward about 6 months, so now I'm in, not now, but at the time, in January, I was in Veliko Tarnovo, Bulgaria. And so it was the winter time there after Christmas in January. And I was getting right down to where I had almost no money. And I mean nothing to pull from at all. Now I had started my whole journey in Visoko, Bosnia, and I had spent the first 4.5 months there in the fall of 2017. Well, so I had made friends there back, you know, times were good, I had money, you know, I had good times there in Visoko. So now I have almost no money left, and I'm in Veliko Tarnovo, and it's cold as shit, and I needed somewhere to go. And so I called a friend of mine back in Visoko, and I asked if I could stay there. And he said yes, and he said that he would be in Sarajevo on the particular night that I was going to be showing up, which was just about 3 or 4 nights ahead of when I talked to him. And at the time, he was going down to Sarajevo once a week for some dance festival, you know, some dance thing that goes on. And he was going to Sarajevo once a week, and he was going to be there on the particular night that I was going to be there. So that's the first good thing that happened, that I would be showing up on the same night that he would be there. So I took the last little bit of money out of my bank account, except for $5 or $10, but I was down to just a little bit of money. And so I packed up my stuff, and I got my cat, baby kitty, and the girl at the place where I stayed, she took me to the bus station there in Veliko Tarnovo, and I got on a bus, and we went to Sofia, Bulgaria, you know, heading west now to Sofia. So I get to Sofia that night, and I get off the bus, and I know where I'm going to stay. I took screenshots of the streets so I could see where I was going to go. I could just see on my laptop where the streets are. I always do that. So I get off the bus, and I get baby kitty and my luggage, my 2 backpacks and whatever, and I go out in front of the bus station, open up my laptop, I'm sitting on the ground, got baby kitty, and I look up the screenshots, and I'm like, okay, I need to go over here, I can see the street. And I look up, and there's like 4 police all standing there with machine guns, you know, and they're asking like, you know, can I see your passport? What are you doing? You know. And I was like, sure, you know. And anyway, they kind of didn't give me a good first impression of Sofia. And also, I didn't like the place where we stayed at either. Anyway, long story short, Sofia is the only city I've been to that I could really do without returning to. I kind of don't like Sofia that much. So next morning, we got a bus ticket heading to, they didn't have anything directly to Sarajevo, so we got to go to Belgrade. So we go up, cross the border, get on to Belgrade, get to Belgrade that night, check into the place. The place was really nice and cheaper than the place in back in Sofia. And so then next morning, Oh no, that night I went to check on the bus ticket, and I thought, the bus ticket's a little expensive getting on to Sarajevo right now, because I'm pretty much halfway there. You know, in Belgrade, you go up to Belgrade and back to Sarajevo. But this whole thing took longer. You know, I didn't anticipate having to pay for a night in Sofia and in Belgrade. So I've got just a little bit of money, just barely enough to buy my ticket the next morning. And I'm thinking, oh shit, I've just got hardly enough money to get out of town tomorrow morning, you know? And so I check on the ticket and the price and everything. And then I'm starting to walk back. To the place where I'm staying, and it's very close by, and it's kind of wet outside, and you know there's ice on the ground. And I walk around the corner by the bus station and train station. I walk around the corner and I look down, and there's money like laying all over the ground. There's like 100 dinar bills. I see this money like laying all over the ground, and I jumped on that like flies on shit, okay? Because I had almost no money, and I jumped on that, and I was like, fucking great. Well, so then I went back and I looked it up. It turns out that 900 dinars is only like $9, because like 100 is like $1. And but anyway, I was very grateful to have that. So then I thought, all right, that's good to have, you know. And then so the next morning comes around, and I get all ready to go, and I go out there, and I find the place where the bus is going to take off and everything. Well, it turns out that I'd gone through a time change, and now it's an hour earlier than I thought it was. So instead of 9 o'clock, now it's really like 8 o'clock. Right. And then, so I thought, okay, I've got an hour to kill, and I've got just a little bit of change, a little bit of Bulgarian change, and I've got, this money that I found on the ground, and so I'll go, since I've got a little time on my hands, I'll go and convert this money into the Bosnia mark, so I can take it back to Bosnia, because it was just not that far before I'd be crossing the Bosnian border. So I go up to a foreign exchange. Remember, I'm in Belgrade. Okay, I'm in Belgrade, Serbia. And I go to the exchange, and I said, here you got Bosnian mark. And they're like, nah, we don't have Bosnian mark. I was like, okay. So I went to another one, and I said, you got the Bosnian mark. They're like, nah, we don't have the Bosnian mark. And I went to the third one. So I thought, okay, I'll go to the one I came to last night. Then I went to that one, and the guy was like, no, we don't have Bosnian mark, but I'll give you euros. And I thought, euros? I thought, I don't need a fucking euros. Bosnia, they don't want euros. So I thought, okay, give me the euros. So the guy gave me a €5 bill, and then about like €3 for whatever I had. So I was like, okay. So now I've got a total of about €8, but a €5 bill. And then I had just enough time to go back to the place where I'm staying. Stop and relax a minute. Just think about. Now in manifesting, you think about the end result already done. So I laid there on the bed, and I thought, okay, I'm on the bus, we're leaving town, we're already out of town, baby kitty's on the bus. Now, when you're carrying a cat on the bus, some bus companies don't like that. And whenever I take baby kitty on the bus, remember, it's kind of like, you can imagine like this being the cat carrier, and then at the time I had this long London fog trench coat. It may still be in Visaco. I'd like to get it back. But anyway, so what I would do whenever I wanted to sneak my cat on the bus, which I've done quite a few times, is I drape that long trench coat over the handle, covering up the cat, so it looks like maybe it's like a laptop bag or something, right? And then I've got a backpack, and then I go, okay, here's the big backpack, put this underneath, and then I sneak baby kitty on the bus, and then I stick her under the seat before the conductor comes around and gets a ticket or whatever. So, okay, so then this is our routine for getting on the bus. So then here we are now at the proper time, about to get on the bus, and I had already left the place, but I had laid down, like I said, and I'd imagined, okay, we're on the bus, we're going, everything's fine, got the cat on the bus, everything's great. And then, so we were standing out there, and I got the trench coat over the thing, and I give the bus driver guy, my 2 backpacks. And I said, okay, here's the backpacks. And he was like, I want that one. I want that package too. And I was like, you want that one? No, not that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I was like, oh no, that's the baby kitty,